sleeping. Okay, guys. Happy Wingman Wednesday. I'm wearing my shirt, but it's kind of cold in the house this morning, so I'm gonna put my sweatshirt on. Told you, purple. Let's get started with today's lesson. My 7th grade students, McKing Fishers, who I miss the most. I'm not supposed to say that now, it's on video, great, but seriously, I miss you guys so much. We got robbed of a third of the year, let's be honest. As far as the looping team goes, we got robbed. And hopefully we'll figure out a way to make it better. Anyway, you'll see by the focus question at the top of today's flip chart that we have a new focus. What happened on September 11th, 2001? And what is terrorism? As part of our study of the Middle East, terrorism is a topic that we study. It's weird to be studying it with you in this distance learning platform, but it is an important topic. And even though it's a pretty heavy topic, I still want you guys to have some exposure to it. So we're going to be talking about it in this new format. And I want to talk about terrorism a little bit today. I want to talk about some announcements and review the workload. So let's get started. All right, so this week, because of the shortened week and change in schedule and the walkathon and the marathon and everything else that's going on, I am going to have our next Google Meet on Friday. So there will not be a Google Game Meet tomorrow. I can't do that because of the walkathon. I need to be over in Waterford, and I can't be on the computer at the same time because I got to drive over there. So I got to cancel tomorrow's Game Meet too, but I will reschedule it. So Friday, 1 p.m. Game Meet, promise. Power School update. If you were in my E-period world geography class, you probably noticed that your grade changed yesterday. That's because I graded a bunch of stuff and updated. If you're in D period, you probably noticed not very much change at all because I only updated with stuff that was turned in late. I spent most of my time yesterday correcting 6th grade stuff. Sorry. That was my phone. Shouldn't this thing be on silence? Seriously? Sorry. Don't forget about your marathon miles for PE. I don't know if I'm going to get to 26.2. I got to get on a bike to do it. I better do that today because this weekend not a whole lot of running happened. I ran the first day, legs hurt like you wouldn't believe, but I started running again tomorrow. Let's move on, Mr. Higgins. Some other announcements. Lancer Radio on Friday, big deal. They have a huge person that's going to be on. It's me. And new comics. There's new comics coming out today. Comic book store finally opened up after COVID-19. I don't know what it's going to be like there, but I'm willing to risk it because I miss my comics that much. I'll wear a mask, don't worry. Okay, so our new topic for probably the next week or so is going to be terrorism. There's like 3 different handouts that I have for you about terrorism. You're going to get the first one today. And I've broken down our study into terrorism into 3 different main topics. We start with just an introduction, like what is terrorism? And the way that I introduce that to you guys is through 9/11, because for most Americans, that's how we learned what terrorism is. We were a victim of it. So today, even though you guys weren't around when 9/11 happened, that's crazy to think about, you're going to get a little bit of background information on it. And then tomorrow, we're going to spend some time figuring out what exactly makes a horrible action an act of terrorism, okay? So how does a regular crime, how is that different from an act of terrorism? We'll explore how that is. Then we're going to change gears and focus on why is it that the U.S. has been targeted? What are some of the groups that dislike us? You may have heard of ISIS before, Al-Qaeda. There are foreign and domestic groups that like us, that dislike us, and like us too. And I'll also be stressing that just because some groups have reasons for disliking us, that doesn't justify their actions either. But it is important to understand why some groups of people don't like the United States. And last but not least, how has terrorism affected our country? Prior to 9/11, we didn't have much exposure to terrorism in this country. We didn't really talk about it when I was growing up, even when I first started teaching. But since 9/11 and that tragic event, our country has changed in dramatic ways. And I want to talk to you guys about some of the ways that our country has changed. So topic, high interest one, guys. Usually people are pretty interested in studying this topic because it's interesting, it's tragic, it's awful, But it's important as an American that you guys have some background knowledge about this topic. So we'll get started today with the first reading. Here's what your workload looks like for today. It's a really simple fact check. I'm more interested in making sure that you do the reading. I think there's 5, maybe 6 questions. Tomorrow there'll be an assignment that's about differentiating acts of terrorism from regular crime. So that's our focus for the rest of this week. What is terrorism? Virtual map quiz, the Stans, not Stanley. Oh, that slide was so funny yesterday. Winning right here. Make sure you practice. And if you have any missing work, of course, get that into me as well. Guys, have a happy Wednesday. Get out there and do some walking or some running or some biking. I hope to see some of you guys on the live walkathon on Thursday. I know I'll be on camera. And then I will see you in real time on Friday during our game meet. All right, guys, I hope all is well, and I will see you soon.